Markets are getting decently oversold here. Money flows have gotten, all that money flow we had going into the market, that's reversed, and right, so we've now gotten a fairly good decline in money flows. Now, those can certainly go a bit deeper here, and I would expect that to happen. I would expect to kind of see this market struggle here for the next 2-3 days. That would not be surprising at all because of what's going on with tariffs, but the market's got to adapt to this. Here's what you need to know before the bell. Markets declined yesterday. Of course, we had this rally on Monday. Markets kind of healed back up from that sell-off that we had on Friday. Yesterday, took that out again yesterday. Markets are looking to open a little bit lower today. Again, right now, we are kind of just still within this very big consolidation range that we've been in since last November. Markets have really just not gone anywhere to any great degree. We're down about 4% from the previous peak. Again, that kind of feels terrible right now. And again, this is the part where investors typically get on the wrong side of the trade, is that we are oversold. We're getting a fairly deep sell signal right now. And this is about the point typically where markets start to try to look at least for an interim bottom, where you get a tradable rally. And this is what gets investors kind of on the wrong side of the trade. They look to say, oh my gosh, I need to sell here, but the market then will rally back a bit, maybe set a lower high, but gives you an opportunity to rebalance that risk. So again, this is why we talk about when markets are running up, they're getting overbought, you're going to deviate. We say, hey, what do we say often, right? Rebalance your portfolios, take some profits, rebalance your risk, because that helps shield you from these declines. So you're not now at this point going, oh my gosh, I got to do something, and you make the wrong decision. Again, markets are getting decently oversold here. Money flows have gotten, all that money flow we had going into the market, that's reversed, and right, so we've now gotten a fairly good decline in money flows. Now, those can certainly go a bit deeper here, and I would expect that to happen. I would expect to kind of see this market struggle here for the next 2-3 days. That would not be surprising at all because of what's going on with tariffs, but the market's got to adapt to this, right? So again, over the next day or two, as these tariffs are implemented, the markets are going to start to digest this. And this is the key point, right? Is that markets will digest this data. And then the markets will adjust earnings expectations for those tariffs. And then markets will start to price out a better outlook in the future, right? It's like, okay, I've seen tariffs before. This is what happens. Price out a better future. Markets will then begin a counter trend rally here at some point. Now, that could be a week from now. It could be 2 weeks from now. But again, as we talked about yesterday, March and April tend to be seasonally strong months. Again, that isn't necessarily always the case, but these typically, we had a weak February, and so markets have gotten through a lot of the selling pressure. A lot of the selling pressure in the markets is getting washed out. And again, that's why we're getting the kind of these deeper oversold signals. Even if the market is going to decline more, if we're going to have a 10% correction, which is certainly well within the realm of possibility in any given year, by the way, if you're going to have a 10% decline, you're still going to have some intermittent rallies to sell into. So just be a little bit cautious about panic selling a decline, particularly like yesterday's, like, oh my gosh, tariffs, got to get out of the markets. Be careful of that. Markets will tend to give you a little bit better exit point at some level. And again, we may only rally back up to the 100-day moving average. Maybe that's your exit point there, but that's better than trying to panic sell at these lower levels. So kind of pick your spots, pick your points. But again, don't abandon your stop losses either. If you begin to violate this trading range that we've been in, that's certainly a very much of a different picture that we've seen in this market. Again, this could be a bigger topping process where markets are consolidating a top. Then you get a bigger correction like we saw in 2022. Don't think that's the case just yet. We really don't have the catalyst for it, but it's always possible. So again, never abandon your stop losses, but look for counter trend rallies to rebalance your risk into. Just be careful, again, as always, is like sometimes you just feel like you have to do something. That's typically the time you want to sit back, wait, and let the markets dictate a little bit better opportunity for you. All right, that's what you need to know before the bell this morning.